All right. All right. Welcome, everyone. We are going to get started with our student-led internship fair. We have, or discussion, I should say. We have a great group of students that are going to talk about the experiences that they have had so far this semester. They're a really varied group of experiences, so I'm excited for everyone to hear about them. So I'm not going to say anymore, and I'm going to get started and have Allison start us off.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And let me know when you can see my presentation. That's not that, of course. Perfect. So my name is Allison. I'm currently a junior at Merrimack, doing the internship class this semester. And I'm just gonna walk you through what my internship is and all that stuff. So my internship site is called Golden Steps ABA Therapy. There's locations all across the country, and we do both at-home therapy and center-based therapy. I'm currently at a location in Haverhill, and I do at-home-based therapy, which has been really fun. The mission statement, specifically from the homepage, they're proud to help children with autism thrive in 14 states and dozens of cities. Nationally represented organization will just touch thousands of lives. They have achieved this building innovation, individualized programs, and cultivated meaningful, impactful relationships with individuals and families. They realize that our therapists do their best to help reach child their highest levels of potential. And it's a great program, and they have a great website, so check that out.
Hey,
Um,
Allison, I think if you could just pause for 1 second, we can't see your presentation yet. It
oh,
does say you've started screen sharing, but it's just not coming through.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sorry.
No, thank you for telling me. Oh,
All right, let's try that. See, try sharing one more time. Let's see if that works.
okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
What
Ah,
about
there
what about that?
we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Do you want me just to start again?
No, you can
No.
You can just pick up where you left off.
where you left off.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
So the population served is looking at service sites are with kids with autism spectrum disorder, as well as we have supervisions with their guardians, their caretakers. We do weekly supervisions with them. They're a part of every therapy we do, every activity. We try to involve them as best we can, so they have outside knowledge when we leave as well, which I think is really cool and something that I think is really important to offer. As for staff roles, I work with the BCBA, which is a board certified behavioral analysis. She is great. She works with me every day. We text every day. She'll help me come up with plans throughout the day and her data. Like when I log in data, she's really helpful. For myself, I'm a behavioral technician. I run sessions, I do data, I run different areas, different activities with both mom and client. So it's been really great. So my personal role, as for responsibilities, I hold doing activities given to me by my BCBA. I log data, reports, I write notes for each session, all that good stuff. So my day-to-day can vary. My client and I have been doing every other day with non-preferred activities. I like to time different aspects of her day to log into the data, just so everyone has an idea of like what the sessions are looking like and all that good stuff. Why I chose this internship, I wanted to further my experience in ABA as well as work in a paraprofessional I was before. So this was a good opportunity to keep doing what I was doing at a different level. Through this internship, I've learned so much about the field and I hope to continue this work into a further career, and I want to grow my education within it as well. Some challenges I faced in this internship is making sure you're paying further attention to my client. I always want to make sure I can give her my best and fully give my attention to her. Also having an understanding of what your BCBA is looking for in the data. Right when I started, I asked a lot of questions just to make sure I'm doing everything she wants me to do. So I totally recommend in any internship site, you're asking as many questions as you can because it's truly important. What I've liked most, I loved learning a new position, working with my BCBA, developing a relationship with both client and family. Understanding terminology that is used in the field has been really interesting, and also how they use their data sheet. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. I definitely want to reiterate the idea of asking questions. It's so important to ask questions and not to be afraid to ask questions. I think that's really important because I know when I would look for interns, when I was hiring interns at different agencies, I would really want to hire people that weren't afraid to ask questions because that shows that you're just willing to learn. And um, people that don't ask questions make me a little nervous sometimes because I don't want you to think you either can't or that you know everything. So asking questions is a really positive skill. So I'm glad that that's something you brought up because it's something that's really, really, really positive to do. So it's great. All right. Thank you. All right.
I'm up next. I can share my screen real quick. Can you see that okay?
Yes, perfect.
So my internship is at Elliott Community Human Services. Their mission statement is inspired to make a difference, equipped to make it done. And it's located in Salem, Massachusetts. The population that I serve are adults 18 and over, and they have to have a mental illness or diagnosed with a mental illness. Um, they also do, like Elliott has other populations that they serve, just at different areas. And they serve families, people with disability, and children 18 and under. For roles and my supervisor, their official like role that they do is offer a restorative environment where adults with mental illness can receive supports and services. But some other roles that they have is just to have everyone be equal. They have most of the staff have like the same title. They don't want the kind of like someone's the boss and someone's the manager. They kind of just want everyone to have the same title. And they all work with the members and help them get acclimated back to like a normal life. My supervisor is named Marie. She works with me and she kind of guides me throughout the day and what I'll be doing. And she also helps run the programs that they have throughout the day. My specific role is to first talk to and get to know the members. So when I first started, I didn't have too many responsibilities, more just having everyone having everyone get used to me and me get used to everyone else. And I've started participating in activities. They have these programs where they do painting or they go for walks or they cook. And there's so many others. I also help them with daily tasks. All the members help and make lunch and they go to appointments and they need help searching for jobs. And then I also always had to show up with an open and accepting attitude. It's important to be positive, and each person there has gone through a lot or is going through a lot, and they probably haven't had like the typical normal life in a while. The reasons I chose Elliott was first, their mission really stood out to me. I thought that they had great goals and values, and they were all really passionate about helping others. The population is also something I found interesting. I haven't worked with adults before, and it was something that I was interested in trying out. The environment is also a place where the adults who have just come out of psychiatric services or have been out of psychiatric services, and with this environment and population, I thought it'd be interesting to see. The experience kind of ties into the environment as well, as I would just get a good insight and be working with people who I'd possibly be working with in my future career. Some challenges and other possible challenges is the new environment. It's like a new place and with all new people, which was kind of difficult at the beginning because obviously getting to know a whole new place and whole new people is can be a little difficult. Getting an answer, with my experience, I had a difficult time getting into contact with their director and ended up starting later than I wanted to because of that, which ended up being fine in the end, but it was just kind of stressful getting it because I wasn't getting an answer and stuff like that. And as I said before, the new population, it's like I haven't worked with this population before and it was just new. What I like so far is they have a very flexible schedule. I'm more there just for extra help. So they were open with me coming whenever I could. The staff, each person cares so much about the members, and that's what when I first talked to them, that's one of the things that really stood out to me too, is how much they cared for each of them and how much of a community they all were. This kind of also ties into the environment. The staff just care so deeply about mental health and they believe that every member deserves an equitable chance at life. It was nice being in this kind of environment because they all have the same kind of feelings that I have about mental health, and it was nice to have a conversation about that with them too. The members are also great. They're all there voluntarily. It's not like a group home where they kind of have to be there or appointments they have to go to. They all want to be there and they all willingly volunteer to help out around the house. So it's fun being there too. And that is everything.
Right. Well, one thing I liked what you said too is just the idea of in the beginning it was about them getting used to you because you were the new one in the environment, and that's a really important thing to remember when you're starting an internship with people that have this established relationship with each other in the environment. Like, you're the new person and you have to be sensitive to kind of you have to fit in with them and let them get to know you, and that can be really hard. So that's a learning curve, I think, for a lot of people when they start an internship, that because that could be tough. And I'm glad that you took on the challenge of working with adults because a lot of students shy away from that, I think.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's great because it's a challenge, but it can be really rewarding too. And I think that it's a really nice kind of addition to your experience to have had that. So that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. All right.
I can do the next one if you want. So, no, it's just not. There we go. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Álvaro Rodriguez, and I am a senior here at Merrimack College, and my major is neuroscience. So, what we do at my internship. So, what we are doing is a research project on how can we improve the recovery of a concussion with emotional response and sleeping quality as variables. So for this, we use eye tracking devices to try to have the data from the emotional response. And then we use EEG, which is an electro cap that we put on the participants that is going to be, we have to use it during all the procedure. And basically it tells you the brain waves. You can read the brain waves with that. and it tells you what zones of the brain are activated. And this is even included during the eye tracking procedure. So whereas my internship is here at Merrimack College, it's in Palmisano Hall. So I'm lucky I don't have to go too far for my internship, and it's very close. So the main population we look for on our internship and the population we serve for. So normally we serve students here at Merrimack, and normally is student athletes, since our main focus doing this research is concussed people. And like doing sports like football, basketball, there is a lot of contact, so it's easier to get a concussion. So most participants are coming from there, but there are also everyone who has a concussion is our population of interest, and even people that is not concussed to have a control group, so we can measure the different data. So the staff and the supervisor. So my supervisor is Laura Curciel. She's been ruling as a professor for more than 20 years in different institutions. Right now, she's a professor of neuroscience and other classes here at Merrimack College, and at the same time, she's running this research to be able to write articles and keep doing research. She owns many different awards of both teaching skills and research articles. So the staff is other psychologist professor from the psychology department that are involved in the research, and they try to help the supervisor with whatever they can help. But the staff mainly is composed of other students like me, which are psychology, neuroscience, and even we have students that aren't even from that branch of science. So there is a lot of stuff that are students without not caring like what their major are. So why I picked this internship? In my case, it was pretty easy. Since my supervisor is my major is neuroscience, my supervisor talked to me about it, so it was pretty easy to decide. And last semester I was already doing this, but I did it as a research. I didn't do it as an internship. And she told me I can keep doing as an internship this time. So I decided, and so that's the reason why I picked this internship, and I'm really really happy with it, to be honest. So the adversities at my internship, you have to say, I would say the lack of participants we have, since it's hard to recruit participants with concussions. We are trying with flyers around campus, we are trying sending emails and everything, but it's low-key a little bit hard to find the population we want. But on the other hand, the good thing about this internship is the staff, the supervisor in general, they are gonna be taking care of you. They're gonna be trying to help you. So it's so easy, because I'm not afraid of asking questions or trying to get more involved, because they will always try to help you. And basically, I think that's it about my internship. If anyone has any questions about it, just let me know.
Thank you. I think what I love about more and more students doing research internships and having continuing the research into an internship is that continued relationship with the professors. There's been a couple students last year and this year that have done what you're doing and continuing that research into an internship, and you get increased responsibility and you get kind of increased time with the professors, and you learn a little bit more about them and you do learn a little bit more about their work, and it's just such a great opportunity. And I'm really excited that more and more students are doing it, because I think that's just a great chance to just learn from them too.
Yeah, and as you say, last semester, for example, when I was doing only research, I was, learning how to do everything and all that. But this semester, as you say, my role now is a little bit different. I can show new students to how to do it, take care of procedures, and it's very interesting, because if you decide to do this way, your role is not set, it's progressive. Like each week you have like new responsibilities. They will try to show you new things, and that's like I feel like I'm learning a lot during this internship, so it's something that I really like
Yeah,
advise to people.
no, that's great. And that's one thing I will say for anyone that's thinking about it, that was done really purposefully. So students that had done research first could then do an internship and take on more responsibility. So then you're teaching other students and you can have that role so that if you decide to do this after you leave, you can, that's a great thing to have on your resume to say, I then taught other students or I led this. So it's a great, great opportunity. So very cool. Great. Thank you. All right.
Okay. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so hi guys, my name is Leah Rosario, and today I'm going to be talking about NFI Massachusetts, which is where I work right now. So NFI is the big corporation overall. I specifically work at Pathways ER, which is in Amesbury, but here I kind of have listed the main sites that you would be at, even if you considered this internship or job. So the first one is in Danvers. So this is NFI's home office. This is the office where you're gonna go for basic training as well as your med training. Your first year and like throughout the year when you have to go get recertified. The next location is Haverhill, and then this is just another treatment facility that they have. They have a group home there named Divergence. Usually after your training, they'll place you there just for like some observations from hands-on stuff. And then Amesbury, Massachusetts, that's where I currently work. It's called Pathways Emergency Residency. This beautiful home sits on a few acres of land facing the Merrimack River, and I personally think it's such a comforting view for an emergency residency. So right here, I kind of have a picture. The first one is from the conference room. That's the front yard, very beautiful. And then the bigger one to the right is the house overall. So the layout is pretty much the front yard, the backyard, and then we have 3 floors. We do count the basement as one of the floors because it contains the sensory room, our storage center, the pantry, the occupational therapist closet, and the laundry room. Then the first floor is the community living room, the dining room, kitchen, offices, and this is where all the males stay. And the second floor would be the girls' living room, girls' dorm, and that's where the res manager office is as well. So these are kind of like the views of the house. So the mission statement for NFI is maximizing potential to achieve the full promise of community living. So NFI, if you see these 3 circles with the blue, it's always them. They're at many events as well. So there's a lot of workers for NFI right now. So the services and the population, NFI provides a vast array of programs and services across the Commonwealth where treatment options are based on the strength and needs of adult, children, adolescent, and families. So there are different populations that you can choose to work with. The specific population that you work with depends on the program you apply for. So for example, where I work, Pathways ER, it's an adolescent population. So that means that it's mainly youth ages 12 through 18, boys, girls, and non-binary youth. And typically, depending on whether you work, whether it's an ER or it's a group home in general, there's always going to be 2 categories for youth who need treatment. The CRA, those are children requiring assistance. So that's possibly like they're not going to school, they're not really following directions at home. And then there's CNP, which is care and protect. So that means that they were kind of taken out the home by DCF just because the living situation wasn't adaptable or useful for the child of that age. So those are the 2 typical youth that we work with. Then here I kind of give you an overview of the role of all of us staff. So first we have admin. They're the managers of the program. So it includes the program director, assistant program director, program manager, and caseworker. They're gonna be your point people. They're always in the building. They're mainly your 9 to 5 workers, but they're always willing to stay longer. They have many of the answers to your logistical questions. So like if we're in need of stuff or if like you need a schedule change, you would kind of go to admin. Then 2 I have listed as clinical. So clinical staff are those who are in charge of meeting with clients. They work with them on an as-need basis, and their case is always evaluated individually. The clinical staff consists of clinicians and occupational therapists. They're always there like all the time, and they're super supportive and also there to answer any questions. Then we have a supervisor. So supervisors are also direct care staff, which is what I am. They're usually the ones who run the shift. They handle client medications, and they're not really allowed to leave the premises during the shift just because they're your point person for that night or for that morning. And the fourth category is just direct care staff. So direct care staff are the ones that they're working on the floor with the clients and the supervisors. It consists of 3 to 8 of us working with clients, and we kind of work on their daily living. Pretty much, if your shift is from 3 o'clock to 11 p.m., like you're there with them for dinner, making sure they're doing their homework, etc., and just pretty much keeping a nice nighttime routine with them. So here is my program director. His name is Sean Carey. He runs the program. He's in charge of hiring. So if you do apply for Pathways, he'll be the one that you talk to. He's the one who's in charge of weekly staff and supervisor meetings. He will be your point person. Every program director would be your point person if you apply to NFI. He makes a schedule. He's your contact person, and he's always an ask and answer type of guy. Like if you don't know something, you ask him and he could give you the answer right away. That's beautiful because it comes with experience and you have somebody that you could trust and talk to. So, and just because he's a program director doesn't mean like it's like scary to talk to him. He's super approachable and we're all there to do the same thing, and it's just to help the youth. So, my role right now, I am my direct care staff. I'm currently training to be a supervisor, but in my role, what we do is we work with clients one-on-one. So we talk about specific or personal matters. Obviously, it's adolescents, so they can have favoritism towards what staff they like. And honestly, it's not a bad thing because then you get that one-on-one time. You get to help them with conflicts, issues, and things that maybe clinical can't really talk to them about. So they'll come to you. You'll take clients to commitments. So we promote still standard living, even though it's an emergency residency. So for example, if they have a job, we will take them and we'll drop them off. Like it's not a problem. We want to promote and continue promoting like individualism, independence, and all of that stuff. So then something else pretty fun is that we take the clients shopping. So every season, most clients get clothing checks, and we're pretty much responsible for taking them out. And I find it really fun because I get to take out a group of 3 or a group of 2, and we pretty much go to the mall. We could get whatever they need, talk, and then it is a fun time. Then the other more administrative part is we have to write incident reports. So if there's any disclosures or any issues of the program, we're the ones taking care of that. We also administer the chores and handle screen time. So we have pretty much a chart every day of things that they have to get done. We have to be on their butts about it because if not, they're really not going to learn as much. So we have to administer those things and make sure they're not always on their phones. We also run group activities and group in general. So you can plan and even lead group with important life topics of your choice. There's group every day except Friday, and they're really willing to give up any idea that you want to talk about just because kids need experience and kids want to hear us out too. And we also give out medications. So once you become MAP trained and certified, you'd be in charge of handing out all the medications that are needed for the program. So that's that. And like the overview is I chose NFI because of their commitment and dedication to helping troubled youth with therapeutic and coping approaches to life. They also allow me to get a direct experience in the therapy point of view. When it comes to challenges, I think it's definitely has to do with time, comfortability, and mental and emotional overwhelm. So in order to have this internship, you would most likely need to apply in the summer before you take an internship course, and you would have to be willing to adapt to things really quickly. Personally, for me, it was not a challenge, and I also had a lot of good support. So if this is something that you want to do, like NFI is a great program to start off. And my favorite part about being able to work is that I get to work with the clients one-on-one, and I can also lead and run groups. They're here to ask me questions, and I'm always a support system for them. Like these are kids who have little to nothing. So when they find you and make sure that you're a point person, it really does feel good. And before I'm done, of course, like I want to supply you guys with whatever you need. So if you're 20 or older and have a driver's license, I pretty much have all the steps of what you need to do to apply. Once you're applying and you get to the reference portion, just use my name. Right there, you can send me an email and then I can make your hiring process move a little quicker. And then we could communicate from there on. But I think it's important for you guys to have like a link or a source on how to start. So here it is. And any questions, you can always email me at my work email, and it's right there. And yeah, so any questions or comments, I'm open to them.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, it's great too. It seems like NFI also provides a lot of training opportunities, and it feels like it also provides opportunities to grow and take on more responsibilities, which is ideal. Like, it's amazing to find places like that. Like, you're training to become a supervisor. So that's so great to find places that offer that type of opportunity.
Yeah, and they're always willing to lend a hand if you have questions, if you need things adjusted with your school schedule, they're super for it. Like, they're just here for your growth and for you to have the same mission as them. So yeah.
That's great. And I feel like they understand the need in the field. So they want people that want to be in the field to be engaged with them, because there's definitely a need. So
Yeah,
that's
a
great.
lot.
Absolutely. Great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Katie, I think you are up next.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see it? Oh, wait.
Loading.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
That's okay.
Can you see this?
Yes.
I don't know. It was like weird last night when I was trying to do it when I like presented it. Is it all right if I just do it?
Yeah, that's fine. We can see it perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So my name's Katie. I'm a senior, and my internship is at Norwood Insurance, and it's basically like a marketing and like client relations type of job that I do. It's the agency's in Groveland, Massachusetts, so it's about like 20 minutes away. They have two other offices in Maine and then in Norwood, Mass. It's been in business for a long time, and they do insurance for businesses, individuals, and families. But I don't do any of the insurance stuff. My role is mostly marketing and evaluating, like, and analyzing the best ways to go about their client base and meeting with their clients sometimes and just doing that type of stuff. The mission of the agency is just to provide the most effective and affordable coverage for their insurance. And they're very involved in the community and do a lot of outreach and volunteering events, which I like. I help them do that type of stuff and planning that. The population's a little bit different because it's more of like a business internship, but it's kind of unique. It's mostly adults, but they do it for individuals and families and businesses. And I thought it was interesting when I first started because you wouldn't think of like an insurance job as you have to be like sensitive towards like what people are going through. But a lot of times like the people that are coming in are like, they could be going through something good, like they just got married and they're looking for homeowners insurance, or they were in a car accident or lost a loved one. So it's just kind of good to have like a psychology background to know how to deal with that type of stuff, even though you're not like counseling or whatever. The roles, my supervisor is Brian Connell. He's the president of the agency and he co-owns it with his wife, Melissa. He's a businessman. He was involved in technology for like 30 years before he was passed down the company. And he's one that I mostly work with when we're like doing marketing campaigns or just like going to client meetings if I like go tag along with him. Another person that I work with is John. He's the vice president. And I really like talking with him because he actually got his degree in psychology. And then like right out of school, he fell into insurance and that he wanted to do like a psychology, I don't know, type of job, but he fell into it and he loved it because he's a lot of working with people and he's been doing it for 20 years. So that's always cool to talk with him. And then also when I'm in the office, there's the other insurance agents and they do insurance stuff like quoting, helping customers. They'll like underwrite policies and evaluate the claims and stuff like that. And my role when I'm in the office, sort of tailored it more to psychology for me. So I do marketing and planning events, so like sending out emails and making phone calls. They do a lot of philanthropic events and work in the community. So I help them with like the fundraising stuff like that when they have like a 5K race or something, or just meetings with other businesses. They gave me a lot of online training to do with their marketing software, which is interesting and good to learn. So I did a lot of videos and quizzes and stuff like that for a while. And it just like teaches you, uh, I don't know, like how to go about and like what people need and how you should like target them, like what they're thinking, stuff like that. Um, it's also a good experience for a professional setting because you have to dress professionally with dress codes like business casual. I have to practice like making phone calls and answering emails in a professional way. And the biggest thing, my favorite part about it is um, like whenever I go in, I do like behavioral economics and that's how I use it for like the tailored marketing. And behavioral economics is the method of economic analysis that applies psychological insights into human behavior and explain economic decision making. So it's basically just like the psychology behind people's purchases and what's going on in their lives that's going to make them want to buy their thing. Another thing that I did this past week is we make like client profiles. So they're like semi-fictional like people, I don't know, how you, I don't know, just basically how what they're thinking and what's going on in their lives that's going to make them want to buy your product. And it just helps you. I don't know, psychology is good for that, it's helping you do the analysis, and they give me the tools and stuff to do that. Um, and I chose this opportunity because it was presented to me, and it's sort of like a different field I wanted to get into. I always just felt like I would struggle in a clinical setting in psychology, but I still wanted to use my background, and I also like studying human behavior. That's like the favorite part about it. Some challenges I face. There's a lot of downtime when they don't have things for me to do, and I always feel awkward because I feel like I always need to be working. So I just have to find ways, find little tasks and help out. Um, it's a lot of screen time. I sit at the computer for a while, and it's not typically something I like to do, but you get breaks and stuff like that. And also before starting, I didn't have that much experience and knowledge, but in my first few weeks, they gave you a lot of training and like how to use Excel and that type of stuff. The thing I like most about it, I really like the people I work with. They have a lot of different experience and different careers, and they're always just good people and mentors I can go to when I'm in the office. In this type of job, nothing's really like an emergency, which I like. Because I feel like working in the clinical setting would stress me out, and a lot of the stuff when I'm doing is like marketing, it's a lot lower stakes. And I'm still using my background in psychology, and I like evaluating people's behavior and why they do that, what they're buying, and that type of stuff. And yeah.
Mhm. Well, I think what's really cool about this is it does present just what I talk about so much with students, especially in the beginning of their kind of journey and thinking about careers, is that psychology applies everywhere, right? Like to so many different careers, and you don't have to go into the clinical side of it, and you don't have to go into the research side of it. It applies to pretty much everything. So thinking about, how do you relate to people that are, um, going and buying insurance? And it seems like, wait, how does that apply? But it really does, because you do have to be
Mhm.
sensitive to what people are going through and how do you have conversations with them and what are their circumstances at that moment in their life. Um and also just purchasing um behaviors, and there's so much behind it. So
Mm.
it's really interesting. I think just that kind of the business psychology side of it is a whole other world. And I think it's also really good to know you don't want the clinical side and that kind of like not wanting the emergency side of things, but also being really interested in the human behavior side of it. That's all really great information to know about what's interesting and kind of more um, what you want out of your role, because some people really
Mm.
excel in that and don't want the other side of it. So I think that's great. And I think it totally applies. Like it's so interesting to hear about kind of how to learn how to apply those different things in this specific role. And I love that someone there was a psychology major. I think that's so funny. That's great.
I know, it's so random.
So
Yeah, thank you. Sorry if I explained it bad.
no, no, it totally makes sense. That's great. Great. Awesome. Thank you. All right. I think we've got, this is our final group. We have two presenting together.
I can share it. Okay, so I'll just start off with the first slide. So me and Carolina's internship this semester is Coaching for Change. There are locations throughout Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Both of our placements are both in Lawrence. I have two, so my other one is in Waltham. The fall kind of semester runs October to December, then the spring runs February to May. And one of their mission statements, the next one will be on the next slide, but it is empowering college students to ignite change for, this is in my way, for the next generation.
So our
Carolina,
mission statement, our mission statement is based on dual impact model presented by Coaching for Change. The organization strives to maximize students' potential and empower students to persist through graduation and beyond. They provide valuable training and resources to college students, ongoing coaching, mentoring, and professional educators while exposing them to a career in education. So that's one of their mission statements. So I do two middle schools in Lawrence. I'm interning at the Oliver and at the Leonard. I'm working with 6th to 8th grade students. Their age range is 11 through 14 years old. Many of these kids are learning English as their second language, as did I, and need extra support with their learning experiences. Many of these kids have either an IEP, which is an individualized education plan, which is for children with an identified disability, or a 504 plan. This is used for students who are not eligible for special education services, but do have certain accommodations.
And then, so the population that I work with for both of my internships, I'm interning at two C4C locations, Lawrence and Waltham. At the Lawrence location, I'm working on site going into the elementary school from 8 to 11 on Mondays and Wednesdays. I got to choose these hours that fit best in my schedule. This location is typically of lower economic status and don't have typically the resources that other major cities do in Massachusetts or anywhere. And that was the perfect location for me to provide that kind of mentorships to those students. My other placement is through Carroll School, that is partnering with C4C as a social media marketing intern. This placement serves the dyslexic community with learning specific curriculum that serves children in grades 1 through 8 at 3 different schools. You are required to have dyslexia in order to enroll in Carroll. I am working hybrid and doing assignments that whatever I'm able to do throughout the week. Like right now, I'm creating a social media calendar, a competitor analysis of creating kind of Carroll versus some other schools and making that social media calendar. So that's been exciting.
So this is where we originated from. So this is the chief executive, Marquise Taylor. Marquise founded C4C while in graduate school when he was 27 years old. After graduating from Stonehill College with a bachelor's in communication, he worked for 4 years in the world of real estate, but needed more. His passion to inspire people to understand where you start in life is not where you permanently have to end up. He works with people of all ages to encourage them to eliminate negativity by taking action, evaluating, and thinking differently about the situation. He has featured in he has featured in Harvard Business Review and People's Magazine, CBS, and CNN. This is one of the staffs and the title they hold. So this is College Coordinator Mackenzie Dupre. Mackenzie is the Regional Coordinator for Massachusetts Schools, and I report to her for any questions I have regarding my internship externally. So does Izzy. The college coordinator are there to help you with anything that you have questions about, as well as anything that you need out of your internship. So you're able to advocate for yourself and get what you want and need out of your internship experience. You're required to meet with your college coordinator at least once a month to make sure you're staying on track. My main supervisor for the Leonard is Kate Fletcher. She is the head of counseling. Kate is a licensed social worker and a school social worker. Yeah. My supervisor for the Oliver is Michelle Lee.
Michelle's an assistant teacher. She learned Spanish in order to help kids in the classroom.
Okay, and then my direct point of contact in my role at the Lawrence location, working with students at the Henry Oliver Elementary School, as well, is Jenny Ramirez. Jenny is a counselor at the elementary school. She usually just walks around the different classrooms, checks in with students and faculty to make sure that all their needs are being met in their time at the school. I check in with Jenny for 30 minutes before I go to my assigned space with the different students. So right now I'm in their specials block, which they're doing dance right now. So I'm in there for the majority of the day. And then at Carroll, my direct point of contact is Amy. Amy handles the social media presence at Carroll and often creates the content that you'll see on the Instagram. In this role, she travels between the lower school, which is in Waltham, the middle school, which is in Lincoln, and then the upper school, which is in Wayland. Amy takes different pictures and videos and interviews at different events throughout the three schools. These events can include parent-student days, where the students have the opportunity to show their parents around the school, and other school-specific events.
So these are roles and possibilities of an intern. This is for me specifically. So in the Leonard Middle School, I work alongside with the guidance counselors. I lead small groups with kids where they get to debrief about their days and play games. I help students with their high school applications and essays. I attend certain counseling meetings and listen to their future plans. I also have to attend lunch and recess with a certain grade. So right now I'm attending lunch and recess with sixth grade. And at the Oliver, I kind of do something different. I work with a teaching assistant, so I observe teaching styles and I take students to the library to complete their tests silently. I help students finish their classwork and get started on their homework.
Okay, and then as a college mentor working with C4C, you will be given the opportunity to do one or more of the following. Your roles could be a classroom academic aide, a classroom behavioral support, targeted small group specialist, family engagement or outreach liaison, gym, art, or recess leader. And then throughout your time at C4C, however long that is, you can do throughout your 4 years, or you can reapply however many times that you want to. You will gain the access to many different events that will help you evolve as students, as well as your career. C4C puts on different events throughout the semester so that mentors from all locations can come together and make new connections with each other. These events include mentor bowling, which they just did about a week ago, COPs, which are communities of practice that you are required to attend, which is kind of like a monthly training. And then this year you can RSVP to attend Youth Mentoring Day. That is an opportunity for youth serving programs and legislators across Massachusetts and bring them to the State House to highlight the importance of mentoring and the relationships that are made. During this time, the mentors spend the day meeting legislators of the communities that we serve through C4C face-to-face to share any stories that we have and the impact that we feel that we are making.
So why I chose C4C, I chose Coaching for Change because of the friendly environment they create for their staff. The Winter Institute, which was the orientation, demonstrated how passionate and hardworking the staff were. They have many sites all over Massachusetts and Rhode Island, so commuting is not a problem. Overall, I was excited to work with the kids one-on-one and be a part of their learning experience. And this internship is paid, which is obviously eye-catching for college students. In a way, the hours are flexible because you're only required to complete 6, and if you need more than 6, they try to find a way.
Okay. So of course, working in a school setting, you can come with different challenges that you could be faced with going into this field working with children. Some potential challenges could include specifically in the middle school, there could be aggressive behavior, different focus that they have on kind of being that class clown, and they're really focused on popularity, as usually middle school kids are. You can have that intimidation of being the new person. So going into those schools, they don't really know who you are, and they're a little bit older to know that this is an unfamiliar face. Like, what are they doing here? And then if these challenges do occur, keep in mind to be firm with the children. Stay respectful though and understanding, and never be rude back to them because they really don't understand or kind of compute what they're doing is being rude. and keep connections with the teachers and ask them questions of how you can connect with the children as well as connect with them. You can go to recess or lunch with them to really connect on different things that they personally have fun with. Um, there are many challenges that you could be faced with, and they might seem non-invasive, but depending on your experience with children, they can trip you up and make you feel immediately uncomfortable. Like me, I've never worked with kids before, so there have been some instances where I've felt uncomfortable, but I've never felt in danger or unsafe. When you attend orientation before you become a C4C mentor, you will be told these different challenges and dangers, but they rarely occur. So far this semester in the elementary school, I have not seen any aggressive or unwarranted behavior that has forced me to feel uncomfortable or have to contact an external party like teachers or anything like that. And you will learn a bunch of different skills and activities during orientation. So, ending statements and what I love about C4C personally. I'm happy I chose C4C as my internship because I have never worked with children before, and I knew from the information that I gained from the information sessions I attended and the student-led internship that I attended last semester, just like this one. I knew this was something that I wanted to look more into. I'm very happy and very fortunate to have two different experiences with C4C, both at the elementary school and the social media intern at Carroll. And I love the community-based ideas and how passionate they are at C4C in all of their events, schools, and different things like that. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been a very increasingly popular internship, and you can tell why, because it sounds like a really great experience and flexible, but also really supportive. Because sometimes when things are flexible, they don't always offer great support, but it sounds like there's really great support. They seem to really check in with you, which is awesome. So that's really great. And it's a paid internship, which you don't find often. So it's like gold. So that's great. So awesome. Thank you both. So before we officially end, I was hoping that anyone that has any sort of advice for people that will be watching later, because I know I have students that will be catching this on the video. Does anyone have any advice for students that are starting their search for an internship and or students when they are on internship in either the summer or in the fall? Yeah, go for it.
So one advice I would say, and it's something that we talked about a lot in class, is to look for internships before you even register for the class. So like months ahead.
Yes. Yes. Good advice. See, I love when people say things that they listen to and then they say things that I said, and it's great. I love it. Yes, but that's smart because it just makes it less stressful and it makes it easier when the time comes. So absolutely. Thank you. Anything else? Any other thoughts from anybody about kind of something for people to think about? Something either they did or wish they did? That's always good too. Yeah.
I kind of have something like along with looking for it early is planning it along with the other classes you have to take, because if you put it off too long and then you have to try to fit your internship with your classes and you can't change that around, it could be hard to get all the hours and all that stuff along with your credits.
Yes, that's super important too. And that's another thing that we try to talk about early is kind of how to negotiate scheduling and fitting it all in. Yeah, that's really important because you don't want to be stressed about that part either, because you want to enjoy the internship part of it too. So yeah, really good. Anything else? Any other thoughts or any advice or ideas for people? Thoughts? Any last thoughts? No. All right. Well, this was great. I really appreciate everyone sharing their experiences. These are all really great experiences and really varied, which I love. And I think it's really valuable for everyone to be able to hear about them. So I really appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much.